in the eyes of the international community, some of your Philippines' behavior in recent times, it now sounds like you really consider other parties' comfort level, and there is a risk of ruining the regional long-earned, long-lasting peace since the end of the colonialist history.
If a Filipino citizen is killed by a willful act, that is, I think, very, very close to what we define as an act of war. That is certainly, we would have crossed the Rubicon, certainly crossed the Rubicon. Is that a red line? Almost certainly it's going to be a red line.
Breaking news. Naku po, parang may mali dito. Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, trending ngayon hindi lamang dito sa loob ng Pilipinas, kundi pati nasa abroad ay usap-usapan ang ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Ito ay matapos tanungin ng napakabigat na tanong na binato sa kanya ng mga banyaga patungkol sa tensyon ngayon sa West Philippine Sea. Ito ang exciting part mga kababayan, dahil napakabigat din at tagus sa puso ang binitawang sagot ng ating Pangulong BBM. Straight to the point ang naging sagot dito ng ating Pangulo. Kaya naman mga kababayan, wag na natin itong patagalin pa. Samahan niyo ako at sabay-sabay nating alamin ang mga maiinit na balita sa araw na ito. Bago tayo magpatuloy mga kababayan, nais ko lang i-shout out si Sir Alan Pababair. Shout out sa iyo, boss. Ito na nga, ipinagtanggol ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. ang Pilipinas mula sa mga akusasyong sinisira nito ang kapayapaan sa Indo-Pacific at lumilihis sa tunay na konsepto ng sentralidad ng ASEAN. Sa isang question and answer session ng 21 Shangri-La Dialogue sa Singapore, sinisi ng isang kalahok ang mga aksyon ng Pilipinas sa West Philippine Sea na umano'y sumisira sa kapayapaan ng rehiyon. Bilang tugon, sinabi ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos na kabaliktaran ito dahil ang Pilipinas ay nakatuon sa tunay na kapayapaan at sentralidad ng ASEAN. Kaya naman sinabi ni PBBM na ang kapayapaan at katatagan sa South China Sea at ang kalayaan sa paglalayag sa daanan ng tubig ay mga isyu sa mundo. At idinagdag niya na ang mga talakayan ay dapat nakasangkot sa lahat ng partido. Nagbigay si Pangulong Marcos ng kanyang pangunahing talumpati sa pagbubukas ng 21st Shangri-La Dialogue na dinaluhan ng mahigit 500 members na kalahok mula sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Ito pa mga kababayan, nanindigan din si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos na uubusin ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas ang lahat na legal na remedyo kung sakaling magresulta ang tensyon sa West Philippine Sea sa pagpatay sa isang Pilipino. Aniya ng Pangulo, kung sakaling may isang Pilipino na mamamatay sa gitna ng tensyon sa West Philippine Sea at ito ay sinasadya, tinutukoy na daw na ito ay isang pagkilos ng digmaan at sumakatawid ay tutugon ng naaayon ang bansang Pilipinas. Ginawa ng Pangulo ang pahayag nang tanungin kung anong mga aksyon ang mga mag-uudyok sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas sa paggamit ng ilang dekada ng Mutual Defense Treaty sa United States of America. Gumawa ng kasaysayan si Pangulong PBBM bilang unang pinuno ng Pilipinas na nagbigay ng mga pangunahing pahayag bago ang Shangri-La Dialogue, ang nangungunang komprehensya sa pagtatanggol at seguridad sa rehiyon ng Asia-Pacific.
Thank you very much, Chair. Give me this wonderful chance to ask a question to President. President, in the eyes of the international community, some of your Philippines' behavior in recent times, it now sounds like you really consider other parties' comfort level, and there is a risk of ruining the regional long-earned, long-lasting peace since the end of the colonialist history. What's your comments on that?
Quite the contrary. I think if you examine more closely the remarks that I just made, I precisely focus on ASEAN centrality, and that the principles that are laid down that are involved in the concept of ASEAN centrality are some things that we must use to guide us. And when we talk about the South China Sea, we have to also remember that the South China Sea is the passageway for half of the world trade. And therefore, the peace and stability of the South China Sea and the freedom of navigation of the South China Sea is a world issue. And that is what I am proposing. And I am saying that yes, it is a regional issue, but we must examine and be part of the discussion. We must include all parties in that discussion, because now it is not just ASEAN member states who are stakeholders, and it is quite easy to see that it is in fact the entire world that have become stakeholders in the peace and stability of our region.
President Marcos, I'm going to ask you a very direct question, if you don't mind, which is, if Chinese Coast Guard water cannons killed a Filipino sailor, would that cross a red line? And then can you also give us a sense of what are the actions that would trigger a request from Manila to Washington to invoke the U.S.-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty?
If a Filipino citizen is killed by a willful act, that is, I think, very, very close to what we define as an act of war, and therefore we will respond accordingly. And our treaty partners, I believe, also hold that same standard for when the actions, with the joint action, will be undertaken in support of any such incident in the Philippines. Thank God we have not yet gotten to the point where any of our participants, civilian or otherwise, have been killed. But once we get to that point, that is certainly, we would have crossed the Rubicon, certainly crossed the Rubicon. Is that a red line? Almost certainly it's going to be a red line.
So what specific force packages are you eyeing particularly in the next coming years? And what exactly are we to expect after Horizon 3 of the AFP modernization program? The
Horizon 3 acquisition program is the acquisition program that our Department of National Defense has just completed. Then we are presently in the process of finding suppliers for all the different requirements that we have to build up our capabilities in the armed forces of the Philippines to work for peace, prepare for war. And it is an unfortunate truth, but and that is why we have undertaken this long-term. It has been going on for many years now. This long-term plan of increasing the capabilities of our military and our civilians, such as the Coast Guard, in the Philippines.
You have helped us to set the agenda. You have provoked our thinking. You've spurred us to action. That is the keynote speech that we needed. That is the keynote speech that we got. You have sung for your supper. I think it's time for you to enjoy it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.